Messages from Angels. A Bible story told from Luke chapter 1, verses 26 to 38, and Matthew chapter 1, verses 18 to 25. Mary lived in a little house. A little house was on a little street. And a little street was in a little town called Nazareth, a place so little that we'd probably just call it a village today. But one day, in that little house, on that little street, in that little town, something happened that would change everything for everybody everywhere. An angel called Gabriel appeared to Mary out of the blue, just like that. "Hello, special chosen one," said the angel. "God is with you." Now, there was nothing even remotely little about this. Mary had never been visited by an angel before, so she was understandably surprised and afraid and confused all at the same time. And what did he mean, this angel, when he called her special and chosen? She was, after all, only a young woman who lived in a little house on a little street in a little town called Nazareth. "There's nothing to fear here," Gabriel assured her. "God wants to do something amazing for you. Listen." And the angel was so excited that he could hardly contain himself. "You're going to have a baby, Mary, a son. You're going to call him Jesus. And he is going to be, well, there's no other way to put it, God's son. He's going to reign on the throne of his ancestor David, the greatest king your people have ever had. And get this, his kingdom is going to last forever." Now, Mary was well and truly confused. As it happens, she was engaged to be married to a man called Joseph, who was indeed a descendant of King David. But she was only engaged. They had never actually slept together. And that's what she told the angel. "No worries," Gabriel grinned. "This child is not actually going to be Joseph's son. No, God's own spirit is going to come over you like a shadow, and the child you have will be God's own son." Mary didn't know what to think. This seemed incredible, impossible. "Consider this," Gabriel said. "You have a cousin, Elizabeth. She's old. She's well past her childbearing years. But she is, as we speak, 6 months pregnant. Don't you see? God can do anything." Mary had no doubt of that. She was, after all, talking to an angel. So she nodded her head and simply said, "I'll do it." Little Mary, in that little house, on that little street, in that little town called Nazareth. Then the angel left. Eventually, of course, she had a not-so-little problem to deal with when Joseph discovered that she was pregnant. Understandably, he thought that she had been unfaithful to him. So he decided to break off the engagement, but to do it quietly because he was a good man and he didn't want to embarrass her. And that's when Joseph was visited by an angel too, in a dream, with a message. "Joseph, descendant of David," the angel said, "don't be afraid to take Mary as your wife. The child she is carrying is God's child. She will give birth to a son, and you will call him Jesus, for as his name suggests, he will save people from their sins." When Joseph awoke, he was just as amazed as Mary had been. But this was all just part of a promise that God had made hundreds of years earlier, a promise the prophet Isaiah had spoken of when he wrote, "A virgin will have a baby boy, and he will be called Emmanuel," which means God is with us. So Joseph changed his mind. He took Mary as his wife, just as the angel had told him to do. And Mary's baby was born. A little child from a little house on a little street in a little town called Nazareth. A child who changed the whole wide world.